it says which function, and let me just close this because it's very distracting. Okay, so which function represents a vertical stretch of an exponential function? So anytime you have, say for example, okay, so apparently the question is in here. Yeah, I just realized the question is in here. So when they say option A, so just forget about all of our options, right? But because they're laying out their solution, right, in here, if we have f of x, which is equal to 3 times 1 over 2x, anytime you have an exponential function, you're going to have a factor, right? So your factor is going to be 3, right, over here. So this is, it just so happened that we have a vertical stretch of 3, and then you have this 1 over 2, which is essentially your base, right? Because if you have an exponential function, so say for example you have a, right? Typically on textbooks they would write it as a, which is any value, right? And in this case, because it's in a fraction, right? It's still considered an exponential function because it's any base raised to the power of x. That makes it an exponential function. And as you can see, we have a vertical stretch over here, which is 3, right? So yeah, apparently there isn't any option here. So as we know that an exponential function can be stretched or shrink both horizontally and vertically. To stretch an exponential function, vertically simply multiply it by a real number greater than 1. Okay, so when they're trying to express this statement, right? So anytime you have a vertical stretch, the value that you multiply, which is considered a factor, this needs to be greater than 1, right? And what that means is if you have a fraction, that wouldn't be considered as a stretch, right? So that's what they're trying to say here. Okay, yeah, so this is right. Okay, but I would say explanation is right, however, options weren't provided. Okay, great. So I'm just gonna say solution is correct since